Hello, everybody! This is going to be another retrospective. This is actually Chris's idea, so I'll let him explain what we're going to do.
Consoles. All of them.
Okay, and what are we going to do with them?
We're just going to talk like we do with all the others. We're going to say what games we liked, what we liked about the system. That's what we're doing.
The first console we're starting with is...
Well, we're not going to do it. I don't remember the Atari
I've never played it.
or any of those, but we got to start with the system that got everybody into gaming, really. The Nintendo Entertainment System.
I have not played that
The
either.
NES. You haven't played any games from the NES.
I played games from the NES, but not the NES system itself,
Okay,
so I can't say anything about the system.
We had one at my grandmother's house, and it came with Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt on the same cartridge. And that was it. It came with a zapper. You shot at the screen.
And did you know Duck Hunt had a second player?
Yes. I'm not doing.
I'm just doing random trivia, man.
Anyway, my remembrances of the NES. Blowing the freaking cartridges to make them work. We kept it down in the basement, which was the worst thing in the world to do. The humidity and whatever it was down there destroyed our system to the point that
No return.
if we put a game in there and it actually worked, you couldn't see what was going on. It was all pixelated, and we actually tried to play a game like that. That's how desperate we were when
What
we were
game was
kids.
that?
All of them got like that. I remember we had the little cleaner things to clean out the cartridges. It never worked. It never worked. It got to the point where we just couldn't play it anymore.
Sad face.
Well, a lot of the good games were re-released, but obviously the Mario games 1, 2, and 3 were the big ones.
Zelda.
I didn't play Zelda too much.
Oh, shocking.
And another game was Rampage. We rented that, and I beat it. I remember I used to get up
That's also an arcade game.
at like 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday at my grandmother's house to play Nintendo. Because we rented games every other weekend. I was with my dad. And I remember Rampage was a huge thing because it took me like 2 hours to beat that game. Back then, that was a long freaking time. If you don't know what that is, it's the game where you're the monsters and you punch the building. Now your goal is to knock every building
I
down.
haven't played one of those games
Awesome,
forever.
fun game.
They haven't made a new one in a while.
They made newer ones for like the 64.
But I meant like
After
360 or anything.
that, no, because they can't do 3D. I don't want to do a 3D one. I like.
Well, no, they didn't do 3D. They could do
But the
like
games-
2.5.
The games we had, Mario 1, 2, and 3, we had this game called Wrath of the Black Manta. It was a ninja game. We had this game called McKids. It was McDonald's. There's no kids, and we never beat that game, ever. I don't think we beat any of the freaking NES games we had.
Not
They
even
were
Mario?
so hard. No, I don't. Mario 3 we probably did because we warped all the time. We got the whistle.
So how long did it take you to beat Mario 1?
I don't remember. I remember beating it because I remember doing the stupid star thing. Replay through again. What other games do we have? Smash TV, which was hard. We never beat that. I know we have more games than that. Pac-Man. Oh, we had Karate
Pac-Man.
Kid. That was a big hit. The Karate
Karate
Kid.
Kid.
Oh, we love that one. I don't know if I ever beat that either.
Hmm.
We might have got to the very end of that. That game was weird. I remember that thing clear as day in my mind. But I probably never. DuckTales, which they're remaking.
I know, I
They're
saw
doing
that.
it in HD, and it looks amazing.
In HD,
That game
they're
is
adding
pretty
stuff
fun.
to it.
Yeah, I heard they're doing some. So I will probably be downloading that for nostalgia's sake.
It's coming for Wii U, too.
Yep.
So, and apparently
I
it's
wish
like,
we had
that's awesome. I love the
Game was a
Moon music.
classic. What do you mean?
The Moon music from DuckTales?
I don't. The moon with the cheese. There was an item in every What else do we
Do
have?
do 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 do
Some game, some weird game my
do
cousin
do
had.
do do do
What was that called?
do
Knights.
do do. Knights.
It had knights in it. It was like
Knights
top
is Sega.
and it moved. No, not Nightken.
Oh,
I don't remember what that was. I think we did have the first Zelda at one point. Cause I remember the gold cartridge.
but not Zelda
No,
2.
I don't remember playing that too much. I don't know why. Bad Dudes. There was a game called Bad Dudes. We didn't have that. Double Dragon, of course, was a big thing. The first one, two, and three were on NES.
I
Battletoads. Battletoads.
oh
Talk about a
god.
hard game. Freaking Battletoads.
Yes.
Then they had. Oh no, that's Super Nintendo. Never mind.
I know.
That was
I
a hard
always get
game.
Super Nintendo and NES games. So.
I'm trying to think of some other. First Ninja Turtles game. That was weird. You go underwater and you had to defuse these bombs. I remember. That was a very
That's
strange,
weird.
strange game. So Nintendo was just strange. Some of the games were just. I think because the graphics weren't that great.
Oh yeah.
So
It's
it's kind of
NES.
weird
It's gonna
to
be
me.
all pixels and whatnot.
There was a baseball. We had a baseball game. We had a golf game too. Golf was terrible. It
NES
looked
Open?
horrible.
Is it the one that came out for the
Oh,
Ambassadors program?
I don't
The NES Open had
know.
Mario on it.
No,
Just the front cover. It wasn't playable. I don't think it was just on the front cover or
no.
something. Oh.
There was some baseball game that was terrible as well. You didn't play any NES game.
I've played NES games
What?
like Mario
It
1
was
and
Punch Out.
2 and 3 and Zelda 1, Zelda 2. I'm pretty sure I played Duck Hunt before. I've never really played DuckTales, but I really want to. So I might download it as well.
Yeah, it looks so different from what I
And I
remember. It's like,
know.
oh my gosh,
That's
because
because,
it almost looks like a completely different game to me from when because the graphics are terrible in NES. They had Chip and Dale's
yeah, I
game
heard
that I
that that was
played.
also a really good game, too.
We rented that one. I remember that because you hit.
Because back when Disney made good games.
There was some Friday the 13th game that made no sense. I remember that freaking game. I don't remember any others that stand out.
I have more to say about the next console.
Oh, duh, you weren't even really alive when the NES was
I
popular.
know.
They re-released the NES in a different, different model later on. I think they did something. Some of
Nintendo
the game
seems to do
cartridges
that a
were
lot.
black. Ninja Gaiden, three of them. Castlevania. How can I forget these games?
Yeah, anyway.
Ninja Gaiden, the hardest game ever freaking made. Contra. I wasn't really big into the first Contra. But
One hit kill games.
yeah, those games were Mega Man.
Oh, okay, yeah, I played Mega Man.
So there's a lot. But I just remember
Wait, I
the
thought
dumb
Mega Man was
graphics.
Super
That's
NES.
just the thing that stuck out to me, the graphics. Terrible graphics.
Back
For the
then, they
NES.
weren't
I
probably
know,
that
that's
bad,
all
but
I can think of. The
now,
graphics and the music. It's
oh,
like
music.
every game needs to be remade from that era.
They have remade. Well, they've remade Mario 1 tons of times. Like Mario 1's been released for like every Nintendo system ever. It's like the Sonic
Probably.
1 for Sega.
Alright, you got anything else to say about that?
No.
Game Genie. Awesome. Hack into your game and do codes. I know way you can beat games
Mess
back
up your
in.
system.
Karnov! That was another one. Karnov.
Never heard of it.
This big fat dude. It was like Sultan, like
Yeah, fat out.
Arab game. Almost forgot about
That's weird.
Karnov. He was in Bad Dudes. Okay.
Okay, moving on
To the next system. What the heck?
my phone. I'm sorry.
The next one, which is my favorite system. Are we just doing Nintendo systems?
We're doing any system.
Well, Sega Genesis would be next.
I've never played a Sega Genesis.
Never played a Genesis.
I've played games.
My memories of a Genesis are my friend Zach. We went to his house. We played Mortal Kombat 2. And Mortal Kombat had blood in it in that version. I did play Sonic. Somebody had Sonic.
I thought the only Sonic game we played was CD.
No, somebody had Sonic.
Oh, I
somewhere.
think that's the only game we owned. Back
Somebody.
then.
I never really played Sega Genesis. So I got
Some
nothing
people-
to say about it.
There's a lot of people say there's total difference between like the next system we're going to talk about, which is the Super Nintendo
Ah, what is
and
that
Sega
though?
Genesis games. Like
I don't know.
the Jurassic Park game was apparently really
Oh, you
different
mean when
compared
the
to the
same
two,
games were on? Yeah,
but
yeah.
they
Mortal
but they were
Kombat being the
different.
big notable. The blood, but the
Well,
graphics were
Jurassic
better.
Jurassic
Graphics were better on SNES.
that's debatable. Some
Mortal
games
Kombat was.
some games look better on Genesis, some games look better on Super
All
Nintendo.
right, let's just go on to the Super Nintendo, please.
I was gonna say that Jurassic Park. I was, yeah, I was gonna say something about the
I
Jurassic Park game.
remember. Will you stop?
I'm just saying because
Can
the
we
Super
start
NES
with?
Jurassic Park game,
I
was that
get it.
top-down weird thing,
Yes, it
and
took
then
forever to beat,
the
and
Genesis
you
game
couldn't.
was a
There was no
2D
save
side
point in that
scroller,
freaking game.
and then the Genesis one was a 2D side scroller.
Yeah, so they were two different games. So,
I
what's your
think it would be
point?
the same version on both, but
Maybe
it
they just
wasn't.
felt like making a different game.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just pointing it out.
All right, Super Nintendo. I got a lot to say about this.
Okay, you can say
Now I
stuff.
remember when it came out, we
Jeez.
were wondering if we were getting it for Christmas because there was a box underneath the Christmas tree. And I remember me and Jason debating about whether or not that was a Super Nintendo, and it turned out it was. And that came with Mario World, which was like,
Mario World was a launch.
yeah, that came with the system.
Oh,
And we got Street Fighter 2 for Christmas from my dad, which was like the greatest thing ever. Super Nintendo was like the greatest system ever made.
I remember the Super
Street
Nintendo.
Fighter 2, and then freaking Turtles in Time, which was passed around our neighborhood.
Oh my gosh, I remember some Star Wars game that you used to
Yeah,
play.
there was three Star Wars games: Super Star Wars, Super
I forget
Return of
which
the
one it
Jedi.
was. What was the
We
one that
played
we
all
had
of them.
recorded once? You're like in the
That
sand at one point.
was the first one, I think.
Uh,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, my favorite is probably Turtles. I mean, outside of the regular Nintendo stuff, Turtles in Time, Super Double Dragon, because this was a game, the only game where when you blocked and somebody hit you, if they punched or kicked, you grabbed, you blocked at the same time, you would grab their arm or their leg, and then you would punch their face. Like, to me, that was the greatest thing ever, and to this day, I haven't seen a game where they do that. And that game was so much freaking fun. I'm still waiting for that to come out for a virtual console.
I'm gonna have to wait till Wii U. Until you get a Wii U. It won't come out
Well,
for
they did
Wii.
one and two, so I gotta do three next. Well, that was the other thing. Turtles 2 and Turtles 3 for the NES. Turtles 2 was the arcade game. Anyway, Mortal Kombat 1 we had the game, tell the games we had. We had Mortal Kombat 1, but blood was sweat. We had Link to the Past, which is the greatest Zelda. Mario World, Yoshi's Island, which I tried to rent for months and months and months. Every time I went out to rent. See, we rented a game every other weekend for Super Nintendo, so I played like tons of Super Nintendo games. Every time I went out, Yoshi's Island was out. So I had to get it for Christmas, and I never played it. That was the first time that's ever happened. Of course, I loved it.
I like Yoshi's Island.
We had Madden 94, which I actually played. NBA Live 95, which I obsessed over because I created my own team. I put like Kramer in there and Peter Parker.
Oh,
Oh, I loved it.
jeez.
I played that. I played seasons of that. Oh my gosh. Um, we didn't have. Just thinking of basketball games, NBA Jam, which was awesome, but we didn't have
Space
that.
Jam.
What other games did we have? Jurassic Park, which
I actually like that
Jimmy
game. It was
Kim, Jurassic
hard.
Park. It just that first person stuff was freaked me out. It was kind of scary in it. The music and the sound.
I haven't played
That
that
game
game in
freaked me out.
forever.
I beat it, but we had Star Fox the original, which looked goofy.
And don't forget Super Mario RPG.
Mario RPG, which is a huge deal. That
Which
came
is
out
that's
late.
the only
That came out late.
this is the only RPG game that Chris likes.
The
Just
only
saying.
RPG that I like. And there was Donkey Kong Countries, which we didn't have. I borrowed them
Mm.
from my friend Shane. Borrowed them a million times because I loved them. Mario All Stars we didn't own either. Our neighbor had it.
Well, how'd you get it? Like when it was
Probably
at your
stole it from him.
mammal's or something.
We probably took it and never gave it back. I don't remember buying that game.
Because I
Mario All
remember
Stars
playing
was
Donkey
huge.
Kong Country 2 like all the time.
Yeah, we always played that one.
More so than the first and second. I don't.
Baseball Simulator 3000 or 2000. That game was awesome too. You got these weird power ups, and you could create a team in that.
Did you ever play the Michael Jackson? Oh, that was Genesis.
No, that was Genesis. And I rented a million games. There was X. Oh, we had this X-Men game, which was awesome.
Mm.
It was made by Capcom. I thought it was so freaking good.
Aladdin.
Aladdin game, which was decent. And there was so many licensed games. There was a Spider-Man animated series game. There was a Batman animated series game, which I couldn't get past one level because of the riddle. I couldn't solve the riddle. I could not solve the riddle, and I know what it is now. I think.
Well.
I could not beat that level because I was too young to. I was an idiot. Of course, all the Street Fighters, Super Street Fighter 2, which was the best.
Was there any Mega Man games for the Super NES?
Mega Man X. I rented those. Earthworm Jim.
I thought that was Genesis, but okay.
They had them both.
Okay.
They actually remade that HD, which I haven't downloaded yet.
I saw that.
I don't think it's the SNES version with the extra levels. There was one version that had extra levels. I don't know if the HD one is that one or not. I think there was 3 of those.
Probably.
Or 2 of those.
I think of others. There was only one Zelda game for that, which was Link to the Past. Was there?
Yeah, they didn't do any other Zeldas. Worst game I ever played, Sim Earth. I rented that. It was terrible. I hated that freaking game.
Wow. Mario Paint.
Mario Paint we had.
I loved messing around with that, especially
the music and
the music thing was probably the best.
I got older.
I remember there was
the mouse pad.
Yeah, I remember there was like a watercolor.
We didn't have the Super Scope.
There was a Mario World picture.
Yeah, with a coloring book. You just filled it
in. Hey, it's good for like a person my age at that time.
Hey, we loved it too because we played it at someone's house and we got it.
I've never done anything like it since.
Super Contra, which I downloaded on the Wii.
Metroid.
I never played Super Metroid.
What about Metroid
which
for
is
the NES?
Odd. Maybe we did rent it. We just couldn't figure it out. I never played NES one. I think we rented Super Metroid, but I could not figure out what to do in it.
So when did you first get into Metroid then? Was that GameCube or was it
Metroid Prime? And I kind of went backwards from there. And the Fusion. When you got the 2D one, I loved the GBA, but then I kind of went backwards.
Yeah.
But my friend Patrick had Metroid 2 for the Game Boy, which he loved. He was big.
Which I have that now. Did they give that to you?
I downloaded that game for the 3DS. It was an Incredible Hulk game, I remember. Oh, there was a Spider-Man Maximum Carnage game, which was cool. That game was cool. And they had a sequel, Separation Anxiety. I played Death and Return of Superman.
I heard that there was some licensed games that were still good, like Lion King.
A lot of licensed games for that system were good, believe it or not.
Like Lion King.
I rented the Lion King. I remember that one. What else was there? There's a million of
them. Don't get your games mixed up, Chris.
I know.
Game systems and games mixed up.
I remember the games had this plastic cover on the bottom of it. They stopped doing those.
Okay.
What other games did we have that we own?
So would you say this is your favorite system?
Oh, heck yeah. There were a lot of fun games on that system. I played so many games. Nowadays, I don't even know if I could rent as many games as I did back then. I had to play for years. We rented. There was always a game. Oh, some racing game. What was that called? FX with the FX chip.
Burnout.
No. I played so many different games.
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart, original. We never owned that one for some reason.
I don't think I ever played the original.
I remember all the kids on the street, we all had Super Nintendo. We all borrowed games from each other. So that's how we played that one.
You don't really see renting places anymore.
I don't think I ever rented Super Castlevania. I don't know why that is. Super Alpha came
Oh, like a Kirby game or anything?
Oh, Kirby Superstar, of course. I've rented that a couple times because I loved it, but never owned it.
What
But
about
I
like for
rented
the
that a
NES?
few
Because you didn't
times.
mention Kirby for the NES.
Yeah, my cousin Jim was a huge Kirby guy, and Kirby Adventure never worked. We had Kirby's Adventure, and it never freaking worked.
Well, there's a better version of that.
Yeah, on GBA. Gosh,
I'm trying to think of like other franchises that. I think you mentioned most of
I
them.
think I mentioned every game we had. They had Battletoads Double Dragon combo game, team up, which would have been cool.
Okay.
The game was alright, could have been way better. Yeah, they combined the two. Battletoads Double Dragon.
It's hard to pick one of my favorites.
You don't have a favorite SNES?
Mario RPG is high up there. Donkey Kong Country 2 is high up there. Mario World is high up there.
Yeah, Mario World is big.
I want to say it's one of those. It's out of those three games. But there's a
Mario
lot.
World.
There's a lot of them that I really do like Yoshi's Island and just the other Donkey Kong countries. But I never really got into the first and third one until GBA. But I played the second one a lot. I never really
Yeah,
beat Link
quite
to
an
the Past
improvement over
until
NES. Quite an improvement.
I never beat A Link to the Past until the GBA version because I always got stuck at
I don't know
the.
how I knew how to get. I never had a strategy guide for
Oh
that
my
game. I
gosh,
don't know how
what
I ever.
dungeon is that? It's like the. It's like a mage-ish. Like
Oh, mazes.
oh, I think it's the one you go into from like the swamp area. I think it was that. I know the end of the boss is that weird eyeball thing. That level got me confused.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess I can move on. I mean, I don't know any
I've,
that's somehow. No, I had two. I didn't have four-player games.
okay,
That was when
so
they added so many more buttons too. Like, oh my goodness, two buttons to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
yeah, now look at controllers.
Okay, and then after that,
Well,
that was
there
when
was more Sega consoles, but I haven't played any of
Sega
them either.
Saturn, Sega CD, all that crap. I haven't played any of them either.
Yeah, I was wondering how did we have Sonic CD?
It was computer.
I know, but I thought it was made just for Sega CD.
No, I made it for PC.
Okay.
Next would be the PlayStation 1.
Which came out first, PS1, Dreamcast, or
PS1.
that came out first?
I'm pretty sure it did.
Okay.
Which we didn't have until way later.
I didn't get. Well, okay, I
I
did
was
play
a,
some PlayStation.
we were a
games.
Nintendo guy. But PS1, Jason got later on. Really, it was his system, but that was when I got Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which at the time was my favorite game ever. And then
You'll be seeing that later on.
I have, what else do I have? There's some X-Men fighting game, and another Castlevania game.
There's some PlayStation 1 games that I
So
like
there
Spyro.
wasn't many PlayStation. I don't.
Have you ever played Spyro?
I
Or
know.
Crash Bandicoot?
No, I've seen it, but
Because they're really
we
fun
didn't
games.
I didn't really play it. I don't even know what Jason. He probably bought it for Final Fantasy and freaking Metal Gear.
Probably.
So I don't have much to say about PS1.
I don't have much there than that. The
CDs.
old original 3 trilogy Spyros are awesome. Crash Bandicoot was awesome. That's about it.
Oh, I think my cousin had it. He ended up getting called Wipeout, which was pretty neat. He had a PlayStation. That's right.
That was
So
that.
anyway, but then there was the N64.
Or the Dreamcast.
No,
it was
no.
N64.
And then I would go to Blockbuster Video and play it.
Oh, the
The
N64.
Mario 64 there, and it was like the most amazing thing in the world at that time because it was 3D graphics. Because Mario 64 kind of perfected it.
Mario 64 started it. They didn't
Well, wasn't
perfect
there
it because
any
it
in
wasn't
PS1?
perfected then. I'm sure there was 3D PS1 games.
Yeah, but not
Because
like
I think there was
Mario.
a Rugrats 3D PS1.
But anyway, again, I played so many 64 games.
I know, holy cow.
We didn't get one for a while. And I remember my friend Jesse talking about GoldenEye 007. And that
That's
game,
the only first-person shooter
that
I like.
was like a huge hit.
And I'm
My
sad.
goodness, me,
Our
him,
N64 doesn't work anymore.
you bum.
It's not my fault. It's old. It doesn't play games
I mean, it
anymore.
had that joystick and the C camera thing. But
Although I do have
man,
another one, so I want
GoldenEye
to see
was
if
the
that works.
party game, the freaking party game. Every time we had a little get together, we played GoldenEye to death.
Going
We
to
had GoldenEye.
Mario
Mario Kart
64,
64. I used to go to
Mario
my.
Kart
I used to
64.
go. Mario Kart used to go to my cousin's house to play because we didn't have it.
You
I
never had
used.
any of the Mario Kart games.
We eventually did get Mario Kart
Mm.
64, which that was cool because they talked and oh my goodness,
Yeah, because I remember
the
we.
character models
I
were
think we
cool
still have the
looking.
cartridge for Mario Kart. We do still have the cartridge.
Probably. Um, and then of course Ocarina when that came out. That
And
was
Majora's
like,
Mask. Or did you get
oh my
Majora's Mask right away?
gosh, yeah, because that came out in November. I got it for Christmas. Both of them came out in November. I pre-ordered it. I told my dad to pre-order it so I can get the gold cartridges and strategy guides, whatever it came with.
Nice.
And Star Fox 64 was
Star Fox
awesome. That was
64. Don't forget.
still
Did you play Smash Brothers with it?
I rented it. We never had it.
I
I rented the game.
was gonna say BJ had it, and that's where I played it a lot.
Um,
Donkey Kong 64.
I rented it once.
We
Never
have it
beat. Not. I
now.
never got close to beating it.
We have it now.
I'm still waiting for the freaking virtual console version. What are they
Yeah,
doing?
well,
What?
I don't know. Maybe it's something with Rare because Rare made it.
So they made Donkey Kong Country.
I know, but maybe it's some licensing thing. I don't know.
Can't be.
Banjo
Anyway,
Kazooie.
yes, I played that. I rented
The
that.
first
I
and
actually
second one,
really
or just
liked.
the
I
first
don't
one?
think I ever played the second one.
Banjo Tooie. Yeah, I do like the first one. We have them too.
And then it had the Rumble Pack. You put the pack in the back of the controller. See what games did we
Yeah.
have? We had some game called what's some shooter game. It wasn't a first person shooter. It was like a third person.
I think we still have them too. I think
What's that
I
called?
can see the cartridge. I just can't think of
I
what the
don't know
name
what
is.
it's called. Jason
Something
bought
Cop.
it. And then there was WCW.
Oh yeah, all your stinking
That
wrestle
WCW
games.
wrestling game, the THQ did the first one. That game was a huge hit too.
They got a
That game
ton of
was
wrestling games.
so much fun. That first one that came out. Like I played that game to death. We loved it. Then they transferred to WWF, which at the time I was watching. I was so happy that they were doing WWF instead of WCW. But anyway, those wrestling games were huge for me. There's Clay Fighter 63 and a third. I remember that game. Then there was Bomberman. I rented a Bomberman game.
Oh, what
Bomberman 64.
is that? The one where it's kind of like an adventure. It's not like regular
It's like
Bomberman.
a 3D.
3D
Yep.
adventure type thing. Yeah, I've seen a
Then
playthrough of that. It
there's
looks really fun.
Castlevania 64, which freaked me out. And the Hedge Maze level with Frankenstein chasing you with a chainsaw. That was scary stuff. Terrible game, but
I'm
those N64 Castlevania games were not good.
trying to think of other N64 games that I actually liked.
Um,
There was like Mario Tennis and golf. Was there a
yeah,
golf? But
I think there was.
I know there was a
I
tennis,
don't
but I don't know. Because I think the
remember.
tennis was the first introduction of Waluigi.
Yeah. Mario.
Mario
No,
Party.
Mario Party. Yeah, Mario Party.
Although I've never really got into Mario Party until on the GameCube
Um,
ones. But we just played two, and
what
that's
games did
probably
we
my
have?
favorite. I'm thinking back, and we don't have a lot. At least not anymore. We don't. We have like Mario 64, Mario Kart. You have your two Zeldas,
Wrestling.
a bunch of wrestling. I think you have a baseball game.
Jason. Yeah, Jason got baseball games and basketball and all that crap. They were at it. I didn't like them.
007, that one other shooting game which you can't think of the name of.
Yeah.
Um,
There has to be more than that.
hmm,
I'm trying to think of the games I rented for that.
you don't really.
Oh no, that's not 64.
64 is still not my favorite console, but it's still.
It didn't have a lot. That console got um, discriminated against because it was still using cartridges.
Yeah, compared to two systems that were running against it.
Ever since then, they've been behind. To this day,
Yeah, and they
have
still
been
are.
behind because of that.
Yeah.
I remember playing Resident Evil on there and not being able to figure it out. I remember we rented that Resident Evil 64, Gex 64. I remember playing.
I remember
game.
playing that.
I don't remember too much of that one. Though.
Oh, was 64 the one with the, what was it, Croc? Legend of the Gobos, or was that
What?
PlayStation?
I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even
It's
know
mom.
what you're talking about. What does she want? This is a Pokemon Snap. I rented that
Yes,
game.
I remember
Take
that.
pictures.
For some
You
reason,
take
I enjoyed that
pictures.
for some
It
reason.
was, why you just go around? You gotta capture them on film.
Didn't that come out for the Virtual Console? And you could actually like
Did it?
save your pictures on
I
the
have
SD
no
card.
idea. I don't think so.
I think it did. I
This
think
was
it
when
did.
Pokemon was coming out.
Mr. Child's all like, "It's evil," and he told
Yes, that was
mom.
during the evil phase. Mom, I had to take the 64 to my dad's house. Oh my gosh, I hated it. Oh jeez. Mario 64. First experience with that was all these systems really was a Mario game. Mario World for Super Nintendo, Mario Brothers for Nintendo,
Mario
Mario
64 for
64.
NES. So about the next. We'll get to the next one.
No. Mario's missing. Super Nintendo. We forgot about that game.
I never played that. I just know of
I
its
rented it.
notorious badness.
I rented it. It's like an educational game.
What about Hotel Mario?
I didn't play that one.
And you haven't played the CEO.
I'm trying to think of 64 games.
I can't think of any more. Literally, like,
I can't believe that. I thought I figured
look
they
it
would
up or something, but I
be.
can't because.
My favorite 64 game gotta be Ocarina.
Oh,
There
my
wasn't
favorite
too
one
many
is.
outside of Nintendo that I really liked
Oh my
on
gosh, what was it?
64. Besides the wrestling.
I know I played Mario
The
64 a
wrestling
lot.
ones. A Goldeneye. Goldeneye was probably the best then.
I don't think I ever really got into Zelda Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask until they both were re-released for GameCube.
You were young.
I mean, I
So
think I remember
Goldeneye's
playing
probably
it, but not really doing much with it. I would have to say Mario
and then you had to
64. Then.
expand the memory on the front.
Yeah, that was only for like a few games, which was Majora's Mask,
I
Donkey
think it
Kong
came with
64.
Majora's Mask. I think that's how I got it.
One thing I remember Donkey Kong 64 because it had a yellow,
Yeah,
it
it
was a
was
yellow
yellow.
cartridge.
There was one that was black. I remember one being black.
You have a few are black, and those are wrestle ones.
Oh, the wrestling?
Yeah. The other ones
There
are
was
all
one that
gray
was
except for
red.
your Zelda ones. I don't remember one being red. And I'm really shocked
Anyway,
that there was
after
no
that,
Metroid.
there was no Metroid on
The only
64.
Metroid appearance on 64 was Smash.
Yep. I think they were going to make one, but they just didn't. Third person one.
Which probably got moved to the next system. But before we move on to that, just mention the Dream Crystal.
Dreamcast, which I actually really liked because Soul Calibur was amazing.
And it actually is the first console to have internet connection.
Yeah, which we didn't use anyway. It had that little thing you put into the controller,
No.
which I never understood. Soul Calibur was amazing. I had Street Fighter Alpha 3, which is an amazing game. There was a Spider-Man game that was on there that was good. That Saturday. Oh, I don't know. Freaking, I love it. Shenmue.
Shenmue,
I was
yes.
obsessed with that game. It was like a couple discs. Wasn't it? A
I think
couple
it
discs?
was. It might have been 2.
I was obsessive about that game. And they never really finished it. It was supposed to be a trilogy and they never finished
No,
But
but they've been talking about it.
it.
You're probably right.
There was Virtual Tennis, which was an addicting tennis game. That game was fun. Dreamcast was a good system.
I'm surprised you guys did not. You did own Sonic Adventure.
Jason did. I never played that crap. Crazy Taxi, we had that
Crazy
too.
Taxi. Did you guys get Knights? No, that was Saturn. Never mind, that wasn't
That
64.
was sad.
No, I remember playing the Sonic Adventure demo all the time because it actually
They
came
had
with
demos.
demos.
Jason got magazines with demos.
We
in
still
them.
have those
Dreamcast
demos.
magazines. That's. What was that one game we used to play?
Was it Marvel vs. Capcom? Was that Dreamcast?
Marvel vs.
Capcom 2?
Yeah, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was on Dreamcast.
Yeah.
That's right. But there was some racing
Soul
game.
Calibur.
I mentioned that was the first thing I mentioned. Um,
Need for Speed.
It was San Francisco Rush.
We still
We
have that.
played
Yes.
that game all the freaking time.
I remember playing that
and there
too.
were these secrets in this game you had to get. That we tried to get. You had to fly off these ramps, and there were tons of secrets in that game. I remember us trying to figure out how to go. But that Spider-Man game was good.
Right, I think we still have that too. Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
That was the weird one where you couldn't go on ground because it
Yeah,
would
it was
fall.
all like on the tops of the building.
Yeah,
Like fog.
it's not my favorite Spider-Man game. We'll be getting to that one. I wish I
It's a
could
good
find
one
that
though.
somewhere. Spider-Man 2. I wish I could find that somewhere. But yeah, the
Dreamcast
Dreamcast.
didn't last long.
Well, no, because I think at the time they came out one too late, and they were a little bit behind because I think Nintendo was in the process of releasing GameCube and PlayStation was in the process, or either
PlayStation 2.
did release the PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2 came next, I think.
I never really owned a PlayStation 2
Which
until like
that
maybe
was
3 years
like
ago.
the biggest system ever. Right there, PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2.
Um, which my brother got. I don't think he got. Did he get that right away?
I just remember getting in
Yeah, because
trouble.
he played Gran Turismo on that freaking thing.
I just
I hated
remember
that
getting
game.
in trouble because
Because of Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy
Oh my
X because I
gosh.
will go to school and say, "Hey, let's kill this guy like we do in this game." That kid's mom told my mom that we
Of
were killing
course,
people and I couldn't
it became
play
a
it
whole
anymore.
fiasco.
Yes,
But
but
anyway, PS2.
PS2 has some good games.
Oh my
Still not
gosh,
my
yeah.
favorite system, but you know,
Oh yeah, because it's got some of the best games ever. It's
and
got
some of the worst. X Files.
God of War 1 and 2 came out for that. Shadow of the Colossus PS2 game. Um, those were the games I liked. Resident Evil. No, 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 that's not true. Never mind.
I'm trying to look what I
Silent Hill
remember.
2. I'll never forget the when I first played that for you.
PlayStation 2. That was also like Grand Theft Auto Vice City and
That was
3 too, wasn't it?
yeah,
Yeah,
3 and Vice City,
Vice City 4 was
which
that.
were huge games at the time.
I think Vice City is probably still my favorite one.
Oh my gosh, go to Jason's old time.
Guitar Man,
Guitar Man.
Gitaru
It was
Man,
on a
whatever.
demo. That game was on a demo. And I was like, this game is so cool. And finally found it. It cost a lot of money because it was rare.
There is some games on here that I will
And
mention
then
that Chris doesn't.
Rock Band came out, or
Ugh.
Guitar Hero came out.
Well, I don't care.
Which, that was big. Guitar Hero came on PS2. That's another
One game
one.
series I want to mention that Chris won't because he doesn't like it is Kingdom Hearts, which is still a big series. But I remember
They don't ever
Jason.
release anything for that anymore, do they?
There's in the process of making the third one.
Yeah, they've been talking about that forever.
The last one they made was on 3DS, Chris. They made
A
one.
real one, I mean.
Yeah. Well,
A console one.
console one hasn't been since 2, which was PS2. But yeah, the Kingdom Hearts is a fun series. I remember Jason having that, and I couldn't get far because I wasn't really good at those action RPGs back then. But I just thought it was cool mixing like Final Fantasy characters with Disney.
Oh, God.
But yeah, I liked it. I thought it's still a fun series today. You have Soul Calibur over there.
That's 3.
I guess that's not a good one.
It's alright. Black. I really love Black. It was a first person shooter called Black. You can shoot like anything. And I thought that was really cool at the time. I don't even.
Can't think of any other PlayStation 2 games I really played. Oh, there was one. Oh, what is it? It's a Pac-Man game, but it was an adventure game.
Pac-Man
Pac-Man
World.
World. I think I have the second
That was
one.
on PS2?
Yeah, I have the second one, and it was on PS2, and it's actually really fun. It's different for a Pac-Man game, but I like it.
Dynasty Warriors. That was a game I was obsessed with.
I remember you guys playing that all the
Dynasty
time.
Warriors. I just thought it was so cool to just in these battles just kill like 900 people.
I remember you playing that all the
I
time.
played that. I still don't have everyone leveled up on the PS3 one.
I remember
Again,
that
you can
game.
play that game for. I mean, it's redundant to a point, but I don't know why I enjoy it
It's
so much.
it's
like
addictive.
okay, you
I
fight
guess you
this
could
red
say.
group, go up to this red token, eliminate all the red on
I
the map.
remember that. I remember
But
that.
it was so redundant, but I don't know why I enjoyed it so much.
Then you have your weird games like X Files,
Well, I just bought that because
X Men.
just X-Men Legends were good. It was a gauntlet with X-Men. I have Castlevania. That game's alright.
You have a SmackDown game.
I found that at work.
Oh.
And then some Street Fighter collections there. Marvel Nemesis was just terrible.
We move on to my favorite system.
GameCube
Yes.
is your favorite system. Are
Yes.
you dumb?
Because I love so many games
Are
on that.
you
That's
dumb?
why. There's just so
Oh,
many games I like on that system. That's why.
GameCube, the first system I bought with my own money, but it didn't have a Mario game.
I think
It was
the
Luigi's
yeah,
Mansion.
and Smash Brothers, which was like a few
Smash
months
Bros.
later.
Came out a couple weeks later.
Yeah.
Smash Bros.
Luigi's Mansion. That's a funny
It was
launch
all
thing.
right, and then I had Star Wars was actually the best game out at the time for that. Star Wars Rogue Leader. That's why
I
I got
remember
that.
playing that. I remember just flying around the desert area. A
That's what I
bunch.
got first.
Star
Luigi's
Wars?
Mansion I got for Christmas
Oh.
because I knew that Star Wars got better reviews. And I
Oh,
bought
I would
that.
just also want to say at this point in time, Sega dropped out to a third party, so they were no longer making
Yeah, they weren't
consoles.
making systems
So actually, the Game Boy Advance was the first time like a Sonic game appeared on a Nintendo console. But yes,
anymore. GameCube mini discs.
I know they were so
Strange.
small. It's the only
They
system
finally
that
got
ever
the
did that.
discs, but they did mini discs.
I mean,
And
oh well. Some of the games were
this
awesome,
was when
even
the
if they
PS2
were.
had DVDs. When their games were on DVDs. Still one step behind Nintendo.
Well, looking at it
Um,
now, you have Mario Sunshine.
which is all right to
I like
me.
it. I like it.
And the fiasco over Wind Waker when I first saw the screenshots, I was so
You know
angry
what? Wind Waker is like
about
the
that.
best Zelda
But it
yet.
turned out to
So
be a fantastic game. Soul Calibur 2, which is probably the best Soul Calibur. Mario Kart Double Dash, the
oh
best.
yeah, Mario Golf, Total Story. You have Mario Power Tennis, which is amazing. Is that?
Resident Evil 4, which is one of the greatest games ever made, came out on the GameCube, and it was 2 discs.
You have Smash
It was
Melee,
2 discs.
Melee.
Yeah, we talked about that.
We didn't really talk about it. You just said that just came out 2 weeks later.
Yeah,
That's all you said about it.
Smash Brothers.
You have F-Zero.
Freaking hard game. A Gauntlet Legend, Dark Legacy.
Oh, and there was a Paper Mario 2. I forgot to mention Paper
I didn't
Mario
get into
for
Paper
NES.
Mario.
I know, but I did. And Paper Mario 2 is a really, really good game. If
But-
you're into RPGs, then play it.
My favorite GameCube game that I never bought, Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, I remember you talking
That
about that.
game was amazing because it was so original because it had this insanity meter
Yeah.
where if it got filled up, weird things would happen. Like, let's say your memory card was corrupted or your controller was unplugged or your character would shrink. And at one point, it just ended. I thought it was at the end of the game.
I remember you saying that. I was like, what?
Supposedly, they might be doing a sequel. I hope they re-release it somehow. 'Cause I never
Maybe,
bought that
I don't
game.
know.
That game's pretty rare, and I miss it.
GameCube also had another Zelda game, which was Four Swords Adventures, which I rented
never
once.
got that. I thought it was a multiplayer thing.
It's one player multiplayer.
I thought, screw it. Screw this freaking game.
There was you're not gonna like this, but I'm gonna mention it anyway. There was Sonic games that came out for it, which I liked all of them, except Shadow is meh. But we'll be getting to that when we get to that in playthroughs. But
There's no gimmick with GameCube, really.
no, which is why I liked it, because it was
just a souped up. That's pretty much what every other console is, a souped up version of one before it.
Until the Wii came out. That was completely different.
That's what I'm saying, every other.
Yeah, I
Super
like
Nintendo with a
There's-
souped up Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Then 64 came out. A GameCube was a souped up 64.
there's
And a
still
Wii U was a
at
souped up Wii.
at the GameCube. There still is a few licensed games that are good, but that's when they started to get.
That's when
crap.
licensed games were becoming terrible.
Yeah, but
when
there was
3D
still
games came
a
out.
few that were good. Like some of the SpongeBob games were good. No, they honestly were. If you would play them, they were. There was Kirby. No, there wasn't.
Kirby 64, got to mention.
That's because I've never really played Kirby 64.
Well,
until
I
Dream
gave you the
Collection.
game to borrow.
I said until Dream Collection. But
There
there
was
really
no
was.
GameCube game on. There was no Kirby.
Well, there was Kirby, but it was like that
There was-
at Star. What was it? The Air Ride.
Oh, and there was a Star Fox game was terrible.
The Star Fox Adventures or something like that. It was
but
like
there was
on
two
foot.
of them. Oh, there was
like-
another one there that was. It was both on foot and in
Yeah.
arming. It was stupid.
I never played it.
And
GameCube?
of course, Metroid Prime,
Yeah, that's
which
what
was
you mentioned.
the game of the year. That game got perfect reviews when it first came out. That was a fantastic game. There's two of them on the GameCube.
I'm trying to think if there was.
Two was hard.
There was no other Mario game for the GameCube, was there, other than
They
Sunshine?
usually just do one.
Well, Wii.
Well, that was a rehash.
Yeah,
Mario Kart Double Dash.
we mentioned that. Yeah.
And there's Mario Golf, Mario Tennis. They did all that stuff.
Yeah, but the tennis was actually really good. I'm sad I sold it. If
No.
any, I don't know why I sold it. I would rebuy it for the new play control if I had the money. Oh, Pikmin.
Well, what was cool about? Oh, I didn't mention the Super Game Boy, Super Nintendo. Remember that?
No.
You put Game Boy games into your Super Nintendo and play them on the big screen. Well, GameCube had the Game Boy
Ah.
Advance player, the Game Boy player.
Yep.
Chuck on the bottom, which was awesome at the time.
Yep.
I personally don't like playing video games on a tiny screen.
Which now you won't need that because Wii U is.
Thank God, because they might look better. Because the games kind of look strange
Yeah.
on the Game Boy player.
No, but you also forgot to mention Pikmin, which I know
I
you don't
rented
like.
it for a trophy for Smash Brothers.
I know you didn't like it, but
No, I didn't really.
I enjoy it. I haven't beaten it because I have the new Wii new play control, but I should really get to play that because it was actually fun. It was slightly addicting. Just the other thing I didn't like about it was time limit, but that's the way the game rolls. Oh, and there was a Soul Calibur game with Link in it.
Yes, it's awesome. Every system had its own.
I like beating people up with the bug.
Every system had its own exclusive character. Of course, Nintendo killed everyone else.
With Link.
Heck yeah. He looks so good in that game.
There was Hulk Ultimate Destruction.
That game is fun.
Yeah, that's not the one with the Sonic billboard. That was that newer one.
That was a stupid one. I thought it was going to be just like that one. It's highly disappointed.
What other games are there? Oh, how did you forget Gauntlet?
I did, I said it.
Oh.
I obsessed over that game too. I'm leveling up every single character.
Yeah, GameCube.
I played that game so much. GameCube was alright.
I find it my favorite console, not handheld. Console.
I won't know why.
Because I played that the most out of any system, other than the Wii. And it was probably and it came out at the point. It also came out at the point where I was playing games the most.
Well, I guess so.
So that's probably why I also like it.
Wow.
And plus, it has a lot of my favorite games on it, like Wind Waker, Sonic Adventure 2, Sunshine, Double Dash.
Super Punch Out. I forgot to mention.
Battle for Bikini Bottom. So I had to say about that. So, did you own an Xbox like the first one? Did you guys own one?
Jason had an X. Wait, no, he didn't.
He had a 360. Did he? I don't know if he had the first one.
No, he didn't have the original.
Okay, because I've never played the original Xbox either, so
I don't think he did.
I don't remember ever seeing one. I know he had a 360, but so what came out next? Was that 360 or was it PS3 or was it Wii? After GameCube. You know what? Let's just go on the 360 first because I'm really the only one who has an experience with that. Well, you do too, sort of.
Jason had it.
I know, but I still have one. Jason doesn't.
We played Dead or Alive.
Yes, that.
That game was the game that I remember playing. We didn't play too much.
Need for Speed. No, Burnout. Sorry,
Burnout. That was the other one.
That was a fun game. I liked racking up points.
I just remember playing music in the background. You could put any music you want on the background of a video game.
Yeah, yeah.
And you could download games for that.
I still have my Xbox 360. I still play it all the time. Of course, half my games are Sonic.
I had the Red Ring of Death all the time.
I only had that once.
Well, it shouldn't happen at all. Jason had it happen how many times?
True.
That's terrible.
I've only had it happen once, and it was only when I tried doing something with a fan.
I don't have much to say about 360.
I do like that you can play music anytime while you're playing a game. That's really
Which
cool.
I don't think the PS3. I think you can on the PS3.
I don't care about
it. Doesn't make any sense how it works, and it takes forever to put music on there. It's so simple on a 360.
360, just plug in your iPod and you can play it.
Yeah, and if you try to do it on the PS3, it doesn't seem to work unless I'm doing something wrong. But I couldn't even figure it out.
Stupid. The Xbox 360 also came out with a Kinect, which I did own at one point for a Sonic game, which was actually really fun. It was probably the only good Kinect game there was for the system. But Eventually,
Did all three of those systems come out at the same time?
I want to say
I think they did.
no.
They came out the same year.
I think did the PS3 come out before the Wii?
I'm thinking they came out at the same time. Because again, the Wii came out and it wasn't HD when the other two
That's
consoles
why I'm
were.
saying I think either the Wii
Like
came
Wii
out
came out
like
2006.
I think the Wii came out like 6 months after the PS3 or 6 months before.
Wii came out November 2006. I remember getting it when I was at spending the night at Jason's. We even went out to the mall through midnight, and they weren't doing it.
Or was it the 360 that came out a few months before either the Wii and the
I don't remember.
one of
Let's
the
talk
one
about the Wii.
or do we want to move on to the PS3 because I don't
No,
have
because I
much to
got a
say
lot to
about that.
say about that.
I could care less. But
You're an idiot.
I don't like the PS3.
Why?
Because I'd rather play with my Wii.
But there are good games on there.
I'll just get the 360 version. Anyway, yes, Wii. I like the Wii. Lots of good games for the Wii. What
Well, the
was?
thing about the Wii was the motion thing, which when I first heard about that, it was just like, what?
I
What is
think
this?
the Wii was the
But
start of the
it
trend where
was
they didn't have too many strong um,
no
launch
GameCube
games.
started the trend of that.
Well, it had Luigi's Mansion and Smash Brothers.
They weren't like huge titles.
Well, Smash Brothers was, but
So yeah,
it had still had
but
one. But I think the
Wii
Wii didn't have
at
many.
Twilight Princess, but it was a GameCube game.
Was that a launch?
Yeah, I got day
Oh,
of.
okay, that was a
But
launch.
it was a GameCube port.
Regardless, it was still a good game.
Yeah, but it was emotion. It was the Wii Sports that and
Oh my
Wii.
gosh, Wii bowling.
Everybody obsessed over Wii Sports. It was a brand new thing. We all thought it was the coolest thing ever.
And Wii Sports to this day
And
holds the
believe it or
title for
not,
the most sold game ever.
they haven't really, in terms of the motion control, they haven't really duplicated the
Until
success of
Skyward
Wii
Sword.
Sports.
Until Skyward Sword. Well, no, I can't really say Skyward Sword either. They
You know
tried
what I
with
mean?
Wii Resort.
The Wii, the
Wii
move,
Sports Resort.
the moving, yeah, with the Motion Plus, which is way better, which they should have done first. Motion Plus should have been on there already. I'm sorry, Nintendo.
Yeah, well,
But you dropped the ball on that. But anyway, because they still Motion Plus. What's the one game that uses it besides Wii Resort? Skyward Sword.
Skyward Sword, and I think that's it.
Yeah, like how terrible was that? But really, all that Motion Plus was good for was sports games and shooters. To be honest,
Yeah,
because it's limited. Unlike the Kinect, where you can do anything. Your whole motions are kind of.
Your whole motions are there.
You can
but
do
it's
a lot
very
with
finicky.
that.
It's very finicky.
You can do a lot with that. That and the
Which they
the
don't.
one that the PS3
There's
had.
like no games. The
I
PS3.
know
Oh, I'm
people
sorry, but the
aren't
PlayStation
buying-
Move
people
was
aren't-
stupid.
No, it's better than. I think it's better than.
I think it's better than
I
Kinect,
played
but
it.
it's just
No,
a
better than the
Wii
Wii
remote.
stuff. It's just that nobody has the games for it. It was better than Wii Remote though. I played it.
I played it too.
It's not
I
bad,
like my
to be
Wii.
honest.
I like my Wii.
Well, people aren't making games to capture that.
Yeah, that's the same
But
problem
the
with
thing
the
I
Kinect,
noticed about
too,
the Wii was that it brought back 2D games. I thought for sure when the N64 came out, we were never, ever, ever going to see a 2D game again.
Well, we
And
brought back a lot of 2D
I
games,
remember
man.
thinking back then, man, what if we saw a 2D game with these graphics? The only one they ever released was Yoshi's Story.
Oh, yeah, we didn't mention Yoshi's
Who
Story.
cares? And then all of a sudden the Wii came out, and it was like all of a sudden these 2D games. Well, we got Super Paper Mario, we got New Super Mario Brothers, we got
Donkey Kong Country
Returns,
Returns,
like
Kirby's
2D
Return to Dreamland.
2D games like came back with a vengeance, and they're still
Super
making
Paper
2D
Mario
games.
is mad to me. I'll be honest.
It's redundant.
New
But,
Super Mario Brothers Wii is, as of now, still my favorite. New Super Mario Brothers. I haven't played U yet, so I can't really.
But as I said, the motion controls, like for Zelda, all you do is swing. They do this.
Until Skyward Sword. What
Now,
Skyward
the
Sword?
motion plus is cool, but they just need to do more. Now it's being used for Wii U, so I guess every game's gonna have it now. I'm assuming.
I don't know about that
I don't know either.
because the Wii U controller. Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah, but it uses both, and that has motion in
I know, but that'd be kind of awkward to use that huge thing to do.
it. No, I'm saying.
Sword play.
No, he won't.
I'm thinking the new Zelda game will be buttons and the thing will be different, but that's just me.
Well,
I hope they go
Maybe
back to
there's two
buttons.
options to play the game.
That I would like that actually.
But really, the only other innovative game was Skyward Sword with the motion to me.
The motion, yes, but I don't play a game
Then
for motion.
there
I
was
play
a
a game to
Wario
have fun.
there was a WarioWare.
WarioWare Shake It. No, not Shake It. Wario. It was Shake It.
Yeah,
Smooth Moves.
Smooth Moves. Yeah.
Which that I actually
You
like
did a
that.
lot with the remote on that.
Do you
But
still have that?
yeah, it's at work.
Oh, okay. Because I don't have it
But
anymore.
Mario Galaxy when
Mario
that came out,
Galaxy
that was the
came
best
out,
Mario 64, I thought.
and then they released a sequel for some
Which was
unknown
the
reason.
same thing, but still good games.
But like doubled because you had like
Darn good games.
242 stars.
Oh my gosh, it was hard, and I was so glad they brought the stars back, and I think the stars look freaking cool in that game. So I'm interested to see what they're doing next.
Yeah, for the Wii U
HD
Mario.
Mario. But anyway, what else did the Wii have?
The Wii
It
had
had some collections. Metroid Prime, which they added
yeah,
motion
it
control.
had the whole Kirby
Resident
collection.
Evil 4, they added motion control, which made it so much easier. But I love it.
007 GoldenEye came out
I
for
never
it.
played them.
I don't. There was no Star Fox game for it or F-Zero, which is weird.
No.
Which is weird. There was Mario Kart Wii.
Yeah, with the Wii U, we knew that was coming.
Yeah, Donkey Kong
Which
Country.
is fine.
Donkey Kong Country
It was hard.
Returns, which honestly I did
It
not
was
see
a
coming.
2D, yeah, but it was awesome. I think it's better than New Super Mario Brothers. I think it's way better.
Than all of them, or just
Yeah. Then they released New Super Mario Bros. Wii, but it first came out on DS.
it's not the same game. I like
Wow, it's
Wii
the
better
same
than DS.
style.
I like that they added 4 players. It makes hectic
Yeah.
co-op fun.
But it's crazy.
Yeah.
Of
Brawl.
course, bro, that was the big game.
Oh my gosh, that was probably the
probably
most
my-
hyped game in existence.
Yeah. Probably my favorite Wii game. Is
I don't know
Brawl.
what my favorite Wii game was.
Because that never gets
There
old.
was some Sonic games that came out
Skyward
for
Sword
it. Yay.
was long.
Skyward Sword is long.
But
And you want me to do that
cool.
next? I want to do Twilight Princess next.
Wii Resort wasn't bad.
No,
That's a
actually,
good
it
party
wasn't.
game.
I loved the like free roaming in the airplane. Was it the airplane or was it? I think it was an airplane where you just free roam the island, flying over it.
I mean,
We
I just
how did I
wish-
forget this for GameCube? Oh, stupid me. Animal Crossing. I'm sorry, you don't like it, but I loved
no.
Animal
Did that
Crossing.
come out for the Wii?
Yeah, there was one for GameCube, DS, and Wii. But GameCube is still possibly my favorite. I don't know about the newer one because it's not out yet. But I loved Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing for Wii is basically just ported over from DS, updated graphics and just a few extra furniture. But I like Animal Crossing. Chris does not.
Surprisingly, there's a lot of Wii games that don't use motion.
I'm okay with that.
It's just weird to me.
I mean, one thing I do like about motion is, especially with Zelda games, is like you're aiming with
That's
the
what I'm
bow
saying.
and
Shooters.
stuff.
It's perfect for shooters.
But I mean, for something like, what's a good example that has like a lot of motion just to move?
Just to move. What do you mean?
There's a I know there's a game for Wii where you have to constantly. Sonic Unleashed is a pretty good example. The Wii version sucks compared to the HD version. Basically, in order to do anything except run, you gotta shake the Wii remote, and it's really stupid.
Yeah.
It's one where it turns into a werehog. So fighting. To fight with the werehog. Bam, shake with the Wii remote to fight. It's really repetitive, and I don't like doing it. Stuff like that should be button, not shake. Like, if it would be the equivalent of playing Smash Brothers, and every time you have to attack, you have to shake the Wii remote, which would be stupid. Did you mention your thoughts on Mario Kart Wii? I know I mentioned it.
Hard.
Yeah, it is.
Frustratingly hard.
Had the most characters out of all of them.
Yeah.
One thing that we brought, which I thought was awesome, was a virtual console.
Yes, that was a big deal. There's still a lot missing.
Downloading NES, Super NES, N64.
That was a big thing for me.
What other systems are there? Is there Genesis and stuff too?
Genesis, Neo Geo. I have a lot of Neo Geo.
Yeah.
TurboGrafx. And,
Yeah, I like the Wii. I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people
And
made
it
it
plays
out to be.
GameCube games, which is nice, except for the newer model.
Yeah, I don't know why they took that away. That is
Make it
for
cheaper.
Wii U.
Make it
I can.
cheaper, probably.
It's the same price. It's
It
actually
is?
more. To get an older Wii U model, it's about 100. To get the newer, it's about like 150 ish.
Yeah,
I guess because it comes with New Super Mario Bros. Wii and it comes with motion control, the Motion Plus. But regardless, whatever. I like the Wii. Go talk about your PlayStation 3. I could care less about it.
PS3, I'll tell you the reason why I bought PS3.
Stupid.
I'll tell you why I bought a PS3.
Stupid.
Number one, God of War 3. I had to play the third chapter. And having just finished that game, it probably is one of the greatest game ever made. And there was a Blu-ray player.
I
Xbox.
just got a Blu-ray DVD player.
Well, I don't need to buy one because I have one with my PlayStation. See?
Oh well.
You see what I'm saying?
I don't care because
Those were the reasons I bought a PS3. Okay.
that's all I gotta say about that because I have nothing to say about other than I don't like it.
No, there's a ton of good games, for the PS2 that I have. I got, God of War 3, like I said. There's Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which I couldn't believe they were actually coming out with another one of them. That was a hyped game for me. Marvel vs. Capcom 3, that was huge. Super Street Fighter 4, awesome. New Mortal Kombat is fantastic. Castlevania Lords of Shadow, which is a Castlevania reboot, amazingly good, way better than I ever thought. Of course, the Batman Arkham games, amazing. Dynasty Warriors was alright. Soul Calibur is okay. Resident Evil 5, pretty good. I haven't still played the new one. And then there's Silent Hill Downpour, which was alright. And they have these cool collections, the HD collection, which I love. God of War, Eco Shadow of the Colossus, which I still need to get.
If there's
back.
any games I enjoyed playing on the PS3, it's probably
And Rock Band.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
probably maybe.
You played Soul Calibur all the time with me.
Okay, so Calibur and probably Marvel vs. Capcom 3
Yes, come on, yeah, man.
and Grand Theft Auto 4. That's all I can think.
And there's downloadable games. I got Marvel Pinball in there.
Yeah, well, half the download.
They got older games to download on there too.
Yeah, but you can do that for the Wii and 360. So.
Not Marvel Pinball or
Okay, not Marvel Pinball. No.
HD Earthworm Jim.
Wait, didn't I see that they're doing a Marvel Pinball for like 3DS or something?
They do one for Wii U.
Wii U. See, just get it for that. Don't bother.
It's been out.
Don't bother with it.
It's been out. There's a PS4 coming out, which I don't really understand it. Still don't know much about it.
You haven't even seen the system. You've just seen the controller.
Yeah, it's the same controller. They never
With a
changed
touchpad.
They never changed
And
that
a screen,
really.
because for some reason everybody likes
It
copying
doesn't have
Nintendo.
a screen on there.
Oh, it doesn't have a screen?
Does it have a screen?
Does it have a screen?
I don't know.
Or maybe it was the leak.
But
rumor
Uncharted was pretty
Xbox
good.
720
games,
controller.
Uncharted games were pretty good. I'm disappointed in that whole. I haven't played too many other ones. So.
I guess you could say your Batman games.
I did. I said the Arkham games. They're awesome.
See, they're making another one.
Arkham Origins. Yeah.
Okay, are you done?
Well, there's a Wii U, but I don't
Yeah,
have
I
it
just
yet.
want to mention something about the
I
Wii
don't-
U because you've played it before. At
Wii U.
least.
I have played it, yes.
You've played Mario
And I'm
U.
buying it when I'm done.
I will say Mario U looks amazing.
Yeah, it's HD. Finally, Nintendo behind again.
But I like that it goes back to some world stuff. Like the map is kind of worldish.
For some reason.
I just think it looks fun compared to like New Super Mario Bros. 2 or something. There's really no other game out for the Wii U that you.
Not yet.
I mean Nintendo Land, but
That comes with the deluxe.
yeah. Nintendo Land. Some of the games look fun, but some of them just look meh.
They got a lot of potential with this one, I think. So
Yeah.
it just came out. For goodness sakes.
I mean, have you seen screenshots for Pikmin 3 look amazing. Despite the fact you might not like the game, but
Yeah. So I'm excited about.
So
Zelda.
I'm excited what Zelda's gonna look
I
like, what
can't
Mario's
even
gonna look like.
imagine what Zelda's gonna be. I've been waiting so long for an HD Zelda. You have
You know they probably still won't add blood, right?
So? Not God of War, Zelda.
I know for the longest time you're like, I want Zelda with blood.
Well, never gonna happen
The
until they
closest thing you'll
stops
get to
making
blood is the
games
smeared blood in Ocarina and
on the floor.
the green blood in
Wow.
in Ocarina and Twilight Princess. But
So I'm hoping for Metroid Prime.
4.
That'd be nice.
Um,
Smash Brothers. Who knows how big and epic that game's gonna be?
oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Downloadable stages and characters,
Yes,
please.
please. I would love to see a return of kind of like Return to Dreamland, but a Wii U version of Kirby, 2D
We'll
ish,
see.
or
We'll see.
maybe our first 3D Kirby game. I don't know how that would play, but
They haven't really done one.
they've never done a 3D Kirby game. They were
Good.
going to for the N64, but they
We're gonna talk about handhelds.
dropped that. I want to guess.
Game Boy. I did have a Game Boy, the original fat Game Boy. Kirby.
I never really got handhelds
Kirby's,
until Color, but
Kirby's Dream Land. We had Bill and Ted, some Bill and Ted game, which was dumb.
did you play Link's Awakening then, or did you play it?
No,
Or was that just
I never had Link's Awakening.
Oh, right, you borrowed it from me when I got the DX version.
We stopped getting Game Boy games for some reason. When it first came out, we had Tetris. Tetris was huge. Everybody we can play Tetris.
Everybody still does play Tetris.
We didn't have too many Game Boy. There were some Ninja Turtle games I may have borrowed from friends. Mario Land 2.
Mario Land 2.
Mario Land
I
2
love
was
Mario Land 2.
Weird.
It's weird,
It's different. Mario Land 1 is different.
Some of them I like the music.
The music is strange. It's Egyptian, and they get hit.
And then Mario Land 2 also introduced Wario.
It was a Mario. Then they came out with a Game Boy Color. Did you
Game
have
Boy-
that?
Yes, I had the Game Boy Color because I remember playing like Game & Watch Gallery 3,
Yeah,
Wario
you had
Land
the Game
3,
Watch games.
Wario Land 3. I remember that
Yeah,
one.
you had the Wario Land games.
What else did I have for that? I didn't have a lot.
I was never big into Game Boy.
I did get Link's Awakening.
Kirby
That
was
was
the
borrowed
best.
from a friend, and I really love Link's Awakening. You don't.
I don't.
What are the Game Boy Color games were there that we had?
Not too many.
Yeah, because I didn't really get handheld
It
until
wasn't
Game Boy
a
Advance.
Game Boy Advance came out. That was
Yeah.
cool because it re-released a lot of Super Nintendo games
Like
and made them
remade,
better.
like Donkey Kong
Like-
Country series.
Like they refined them.
links to the
Like they
to the
added
past.
little things here and there, Link to the Past.
Mario 2
1,
and 3,
2 and 3,
and
Donkey
World.
Kong Countries.
Don't forget
2 and
World
3.
and Yoshi's Island. They released Yoshi's
Yoshi's
Island.
Island and Mario World. I had bought all of them. I'm gonna rebuy them again for the virtual console.
You had also
There was some
some,
awesome Castlevania came back.
you had
GB.
newer games like Mario and Luigi. You played that one.
I did. Metroid games were awesome.
Metroid
on the
Fusion.
GBA. A lot of re-releases. Double Dragon and Final Fight I have. They're
Metroid Zero
re-releases.
Mission was a re-release.
That was a remake of
Remake.
which desperately needed remade.
Yes, it did.
That's what they should be doing with Nintendo games, remaking them like that.
Zelda 2 remake, make it easier, please.
Wow, Zelda 1 needs to be remade.
Zelda 1 remade with like,
GBA Mario Kart you lost.
oh my gosh! But you can get it for the 3DS if you're an ambassador.
Wario,
I missed that game.
Wario,
Oh my gosh.
WarioWare first came out.
Oh, WarioWare! I
when
spent
that
so
first-
much time
I
on
was
that
obsessed.
game.
That was an addicting game when that first came out.
Man.
Oh my goodness.
You had Minish Cap. Zelda
Minish Cap was alright. That was the only Zelda game, really, besides Link to the Past. There was
And well,
Kirby,
you have Four Sword mixed with.
Kirby Adventure Remake, which was cool.
Yeah, and then you had like that other Kirby game, Amazing Mirror, which is also 3DS
I didn't
ambassador.
play it.
You could download it
I
if you want.
know.
Oh, what other games were there? Obviously there was some Sonic games I really liked that came out for it.
You could hook it to the GameCube, which we
Yes.
did for Wind Waker. I did it.
The
Tingle
Tingle Tuner, and you can also do it for
And Metroid Prime, you could do it to unlock stuff.
you could do it for
I did
Animal Crossing to get a secret island too.
Yeah, Metroid Prime, you get different costume, fusion costume you can wear in Metroid Prime, and you unlock Metroid
They
1.
didn't really do that for too many games though.
No. That's
I
what
mean-
Nintendo does. They say, "Oh, we got this," and then they do. it for
Heck,
two
even
things.
Sega did it. So I don't. And there was this kind of link that you could link the Game Boy Advances together to have multiplayer.
Yeah.
Although I don't
Oh.
know of too many games that did that either. I know
Well,
Four
you had to
Swords did it.
force- Well, Link to the Past, you had to do it to unlock the other dungeon.
Yeah, that was Four
we
Swords.
did it. We did
that was Four Swords. Yeah.
How are they gonna do that on Wii U?
I'm thinking online. Or they kind of like maybe they'll do the Four Swords how they did it with um, 3DS. I don't know. The Sonic Battle was one of those multiplayer
But
ones
it
too.
didn't have a backlight. Game Boy Advance didn't. Remember?
Not until the SP.
Yeah.
And
It
for
was
some reason, the Game Boy
terrible.
Advance had this weird, at one time, fetish to release um, TV shows on it. It was just
What?
it wasn't a lot of them, but there was like Game Boy Player, and it was a cartridge that had like 3 or 4 episodes, or even 2 episodes of some show, like SpongeBob, and it had Sonic.
Okay.
But the thing is,
Well,
they were really bad quality
I'm
episodes. Like,
sure.
so I don't know
Why would you
why
want to do
that
that?
was. But
Okay.
yeah, favorite game on that.
Original gameplay, the Metroid Fusion and Zero Mission.
Metroid Fusion. I have to say
Probably.
Sonic Advance 3.
Other than the
Mario and
most of the
Luigi.
ones I
Oh,
have
Mario and
are
Luigi.
remakes. To be
Mario and
honest.
Luigi. It
The
is.
majority, and the Castlevania games are awesome. I only have one though. I didn't buy the other one.
They have WarioWare Twisted down there.
Yeah.
This is another WarioWare game.
That was one where you had the gyroscope. You had to twist the freaking game
I don't know, but what was it called? Mario Kart Super Circuit. I love that Mario Kart game. Guess we move on to DS.
Dual screen, and the launch game was Mario 64.
Or was it? No, that was after that. Yeah, it was Mario 64.
Which was cool. They added so much.
They did. They added
To one of my favorite games ever.
30 extra stars, or was it 20?
That was a lot.
And they added
That was
three
cool.
other playable
And they had the touch
characters.
screen, which they did a lot. Castlevania did a lot with the touch screen. Like you had to make these
And
symbols.
the Zelda games did a lot with it. The Zelda games were
Or
all
you had the
touchscreen.
control, which I didn't really care for that Zelda game, to be honest with you.
Spirit Tracks was
Castlevania games were cool. All of them were good. And that was when they finally released the first 2D Mario game in how many years?
Super Mario Brothers.
Which was pretty big, and now that's been the thing they've been doing from now on. It's getting old to me. It was cool when it first came out. It's
The
getting old now.
DS also had its fair share of remakes too, like
Kirby Superstar was awesome.
Superstar.
That's it. That's the only one I
Well,
have.
Mario 64.
They always do remakes, which is good. I'm all up for remakes.
You have Mario Kart
Mario-
DS, which some people think is the best Mario Kart.
No.
And they finally made a
Yoshi-
sequel to Yoshi's Island.
And it was freaking hard.
It is very
and not
hard.
nearly as good for some reason. Graphics are exactly the same.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Look at a screenshot compared to them. Compare them.
They look the same.
Character models are not.
Yeah, the levels do too.
For the most part. There's actually some, like
They don't look.
the beginning of the game is almost exactly the same, which is, I think is kind of cool. But like the first level is,
Well, that game was freaking hard.
I'd never 100%. I never even 100% of the first.
I
Yoshi's
started
Island.
playing the game with my strategy guy because I started to get some of the coins I missed, and I stopped. It just wasn't enjoyable, which is weird because I love Yoshi's Island, but Yoshi's Island DS,
I think I didn't like the
did not
switching babies
enjoy. Probably it's too confusing.
because
It was too
I
much
like
for
rushing
me.
through
Oh
it and
my
getting it,
gosh,
but then
I
if you don't have a certain baby at a time,
You
it's like
just-
I
you
can't
get
do this and I
screwed.
can't do it. So
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good concept, but
not for. I don't.
there was Sonic games that came out for it that I enjoyed. There was 2 Mario and Luigi sequels, which second one was mad. The third one is amazing. What other? You know, you had your first. One thing we didn't mention about Wii and DS was you had your first crossover with Sonic and Mario. Olympic games. For some
Who
reason.
cares?
They're fun party games.
Who
There was another
cares?
Animal Crossing game that came out for it, which was fun. And for some reason, there's Phineas and Ferb games for it. Can you think of any other DS games?
You could play your Game Boy Advance games in there, which is
Yeah,
good.
I did like that.
But I still have the original bulky DS.
I
And
had
at least the better ones.
I had the light,
Yeah, the light.
which I traded in to get my 3DS. But before we move on to 3DS, unless there's anything else for DS to mention. Before we move on to that, I guess you want to mention PSP real quick, because I actually have
No,
one.
I never played it.
I have one. Meh. It's definitely not as good as DS, and obviously anything else in handheld division. There's a few good
Game
games.
Gear.
There's a. I've never played a Game Gear. There's a few games for it that are okay, like a few Sonic games. There's a Kingdom Hearts game that's good. Apparently, Mega Man Powered Up is good. I kind of want to play that. But other than that, there's really not too many good games that are out for it. It's hurt it a lot.
There's two God of War, but they came out PS3 versions.
And then there's the newer one PS Vita. I don't know how well that's doing because I don't care.
Vita.
I don't care.
Is it out?
Yeah, it's been out. It's been out.
I haven't heard anything about that.
It's been out since the 3DS has been out. So
Well, then let's move on to that.
3DS.
3DS is cool.
I like the 3DS.
Freaking Ocarina of Time remake. I've been wanting a remake for Ocarina of Time. I was so angry that they're doing it on a handheld, not on,
You know what? It works though because
But it looks so much better.
it does look so much better.
Oh
I
my
mean,
goodness.
a few things don't look a lot better. I mean, because like
Right.
Hyrule Field is still bland. I thought they would kind of add stuff to
Yeah.
it. But I mean, the character models, everything else got a graphical update. Like, look at Hyrule Town. That got a major update.
Star Fox 3D, which I
Star
have.
Fox 3D.
And then Super Mario 3D Land, which is what I've always wanted a 3D Mario to be.
Yeah, but too bad it was very meh.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, Mario 3D Land got very repetitive, especially in the special world, because it was just the same levels over and over again with a different gimmick. I'm like, really? Can't you think of
Special
some?
World?
Yes. You had to do like almost all the stages over again
No, I don't remember
with
this.
a different gimmick.
No.
Yeah. You had to do all 8 worlds again. I mean,
Oh,
obviously the
no.
levels were spaced differently, but a lot of the levels, except for maybe like
I
5,
don't remember this.
are exactly the same. That's probably why, because it was very meh. I liked it though, but it also was very easy because lives were handed to you. Like,
Well, they
alright.
gave you that power up. Like, that
Return of the
invincible.
Tanuki
Yeah,
suit.
that's what was cool.
Um,
I have Castlevania Lords of Shadow, which was actually 2D. Side-scrolling. I thought it was a 3D game. And no, it's a side-scrolling game with like 3D backgrounds.
okay.
That's alright.
There was
I
the 3D effect is
don't
pretty
even know what I'll be buying next for that, to be honest.
3DS probably Luigi's Mansion will probably be mine. No, Animal Crossing will be mine.
I don't know. I don't know what to buy next.
They
have a virtual console, which is cool. I've downloaded a bunch of games on there.
Yeah, Game Boy. I'm
Boy
waiting for
games.
Game Boy Advance games. I'm
They're
waiting.
doing that on Wii U.
I know, but you would think they would do it for that too, for people who want them on the go. But
I know it's weird.
because they had them for ambassadors, so
I
you
know,
know they can
I
do
know.
them.
It doesn't make sense.
You know they can do them. I do like some of the features that the 3DS
Got a
has.
lot.
I mean,
of
you have
stuff.
the eShop, obviously. You have Nintendo Video Player. You have the Music Player, which I play with a lot, actually. You have those AR cards, which they don't really do anything
Weird.
with. Some games do come with AR cards, though. Like Kingdom Hearts 3D came with an AR card.
I basically bought that system for Zelda, to be honest.
I bought it
I
because
did.
I knew there was going to be a Zelda game. I knew there was going to be a Sonic game. And plus, of course, then they released a stick in 3DS XL
Yes.
with a better battery life and everything. It was like, Nintendo, you
Why
said
did
you
they
were
gotta
going to
do-
do this. Why did you do it? Like, for the longest time, they were denying that they were making a newer model.
Yeah, it sucks.
No, but Luigi's Mansion looks really good, honestly. Still waiting for Majora's Mask.
If
I hope they do it.
supposedly they're doing either that or Link to the Past.
I don't know what I would like better. I would go with Majora's Mask because
Link to the Past. What can you do with that? You can't.
make it
Yeah,
3D.
I'd rather.
Kind of like what
Why?
they re-released Kirby's Adventure in 3D.
What, does it look better?
It looks exactly the same, just 3D.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I'd rather see Majora's Mask. Definitely.
Because Link to the Past, I don't think needs remade, to be honest. But Majora's Mask,
No, it doesn't. You're right.
Majora's
It
Mask doesn't really need to be
Yes, it
remade,
does.
but
The graphics.
graphic, yes. But
That's
maybe
the
I'll
original.
actually get it and actually beat it for once. There's another Mario and Luigi game coming out, which is actually pretty cool. I'm pretty sure they had New Super Mario Bros. 2,
Yeah, which I liked.
which the only thing I thought was stupid was that they released that and New Super Mario Bros. 2 around the same time. I was like, really? two new Super Mario Brothers in the span of
I
like two
know, it's
months.
dumb.
New Super Mario Brothers 2 had a very queenie gimmick.
I like that.
Still have yet to reach a million.
Yeah, right. Good luck.
You had Street Fighter remake for it. You had the Nintendogs and Cats. Um, I do like the 3D
They had
effects.
some Resident Evil in there.
Yeah, they did. Some games have better 3D effects than others. Ocarina had a really nice 3D effect. Except Super Mario 3D Land used a 3D effect to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have other games like New Super Mario Bros. 2 looks. I don't like it with the 3D effect on. It makes the background look blurry and
Yeah, the
not.
background looks terrible in that game. And I don't understand why. It's supposed to be better graphics than like DS, but the background doesn't look any better.
You put it on 3D and you can't even see the background, so that's probably why they did it. Because they were expecting people to do 3D.
I played the whole game in 3D.
Did you? I
Yeah.
didn't. I did it. The background got all blurry, and I was like, "Forget this," and I turned it off, and it looks so much better.
Oh, it does? I didn't even know. I figured out just what the background looked like.
No, you take the 3D off, and the background's clear as day.
Oh, jeez.
I don't understand why
All
that
this
is,
time.
but
That's bizarre.
there is Mario Kart 7, but that's nothing
Mario
new
Kart's
at
getting
it.
old. I'm sorry.
I know. I agree.
They need to do a double dash type thing.
They do.
I don't know why they didn't bring that back. They did that one time. It was the best thing they ever did on that freaking series. And
Mario Kart 7.
I don't know.
It took away Waluigi for some reason, and some of the tracks were cool. Like I did like Rainbow Road, especially like the music, but it was the same thing. Just with you can go underwater and you can glide for a short period of time.
That was the new thing.
Man, you're not gonna like this, but Sonic and Sega Transformed is so much better than Mario Kart 7.
But not Mario Kart Double Dash.
I don't know about that.
No.
I don't know what they have in store for the 3DS in terms of games. I mean, they said they're not gonna release a new Super Mario Brothers more than one on the console, so
Well, they should just stop doing that.
they should.
They need to do Mario.
Do you think we'll get another 3D-ish Mario 3D Landish type game?
I would think.
Like maybe
Well, I don't
Super
know.
Mario 3D Land 2 or something.
Did they release a Mario on DS? A regular Mario game outside of Mario 64.
New Super Mario Brothers was it. Yeah. They didn't release something like Mario 3D Land.
Well, I don't know. We might not see anything.
Yeah, that's
They
okay.
tend
Give Mario
to
a break
only
for
make
once.
like one Mario game per system.
Apparently, there is an original Zelda 3DS game being made.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, they're not going to use
scary.
it. They're not going to use it for all remakes. At least I hope not. There should be an original. I know they stated that.
Well, did they do one for the DS?
Yeah, Phantom Hourglass and Spirit
Oh,
Tracks.
yeah, you're right.
They did
I
too.
didn't like
Spirit Tracks was better than Phantom
it.
Hourglass.
Train.
The train's not that. Train is better than the boat, man. And it,
Get out. I love that boat.
I like the boat in Wind Waker. I don't really like it in
love
Phantom
that
Hourglass.
boat.
Yeah. Would you like to see? Did they do like a WarioWare or Yoshi's Island for it or anything?
For what? 3DS?
Yeah, like maybe Yoshi's Island 3 or something.
3D. Everything's 3D.
I know.
I don't know.
I mean, they're releasing a lot of remakes, like Donkey Kong Country Returns.
I'm fine with that. That's not a remake. Oh, for 3DS.
Donkey
Yeah,
Kong
that's
Country
weird why they're doing that. That's a waste.
I don't understand that, to be honest. Like, I really do not understand
big,
that.
huge waste of a game.
Like, you know, they're probably gonna come out with a Kirby going.
They gotta be doing another Donkey Kong Country Returns. They have to be.
I don't know what Retro Studios is doing. I don't know if
I'm
it's
thinking
another
of Star
Donkey Kong
Fox.
or another Metroid.
Better be Metroid Prime for Wii U.
Metroid Other M2.
No. Do not let them make another game. Not a Nintendo game. I haven't played it though. My cousin has that.
Other
Let me
M?
borrow it.
Other M?
Yeah. Shoot, I didn't even think of that. Well, I got freaking games to play. Never mind, I'm not gonna ask you. Final thoughts.
On
Your favorite system?
all time or of
Yes!
console and handheld?
Full
Different.
time.
Flash,
Oh my
3DS. I don't know. Game Boy Advance and Wii are high up there.
Super Nintendo for me, I just my memories of the games for that system are so much better than any other system to me. Just my memories of fun games.
Yeah.
Games are so much different back then than they are now. Like I could every other weekend I'd go out to Blockbuster to rent a game. I could always find a game for years,
You
years.
don't really rent games these days, though. At least not that I know of.
And when the N64 came out, I still rented games, but slowly declined. GameCube declined. I don't, I may have rented a game once every couple months, and now I don't even know what I would rent. It's to that point now. I don't know why that is, because games are different nowadays. I don't know. Games
See,
were
games
simple and fun back then.
games these days take more time than
Games take
renting
a lot of
allows.
time. They're complicated.
I mean, unless you're
I
playing
mean,
like
technically, I guess they're better, but I think it's because I like 2D games better.
you like 2D better than
I
3D,
think I do.
like for every game series ever.
Oh no, I can imagine God of War.
I know, I meant like any series that has both, like Zelda and Mario.
Well, oh, well,
Because I used to like
I
3D
don't
Zelda
know.
better
That's
than.
hard to say, but I just feel like a lot of the games on the Super Nintendo I love. Even licensed games back then were good.
And some remakes don't do the game justice, like the Turtles in Time remake.
Yeah,
That
I hated
was
it.
sure it looks nice, but for
I,
one,
to
they
be
did the
honest,
wrong version.
I think the Super Nintendo looks better. Just the style. The style of that HD was like more realistic, and it doesn't work for me.
Okay.
I haven't played with Jim HD yet.
I mean, DuckTales HD looks good.
That actually looks cool.
I think it just
But
depends
yeah,
what they
Turtles
do
in
with it.
Time. So disappointing. That's one of my favorites.
I
They
mean,
did a Double Dragon new one. I didn't play that.
I guess you could
But
say, I mean, like the Game Boy Advance remakes, some of them look worse. Like the
like
Donkey
the
Kong
Donkey Kong
Country
countries
games,
do look a little goofy.
they look
But they added.
they added a
I
lot, but they
compromise
look
it.
different. I mean, Mario 2 and 3 look the
they
same.
look the same. Link to the Past looks the same. It's
Link to
just
the Past look the same, just added voice and Force
they
Awakens.
added. They changed some things a little bit. But yeah, Donkey Kong Country looks funky for some reason.
I think it's because they went from Super Nintendo to straight to Game Boy Advance, so it kind of compressed it a little bit and it looks different. Especially since it's
Because
on
of
a
the way the
tinier
because
screen.
it was like CG graphics.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
then they tried to
Um,
replicate that, but not as well.
Yeah. Yeah, Super Nintendo just has so many good memories with that. Way more than
What would be your runner-up?
what would be my runner-up? Probably PS3.
More so than N64,
N64. I mean, Mario 64,
GameCube,
the two Zeldas, and GoldenEye, and the wrestling.
Mario Kart,
Yeah,
Smash Brothers. Oh, you said you didn't really own Smash Brothers.
but there's better ones now. Better Mario
Well,
Kart and a better. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say that there's a better Zelda game out now, or a better
That's debatable.
wrestling. Even wrestling games.
I would
I
choose
don't
Wind
even
Waker
enjoy
over
the new
Majora's.
wrestling games
I
anymore.
would choose
I
Wind
hate the
Waker
new
over the
wrestling games.
N64
They aren't
Zelda.
as fun as the 64 ones for some reason. It's just games aren't as fun.
Some games are still fun though.
Rare.
I mean,
Rarely.
the Zelda games are fun. Some of them are tedious, like
Right.
Skyward Sword.
What was the last game I played that I really, really, really loved?
Nintendo wise,
No, in general.
Galaxy.
Galaxy was awesome.
Galaxy 2.
Both of them. God of War series. Resident Evil 4 was amazing when I first played that. Shadow of the Colossus. That's it. Batman games were pretty good.
What was the last Zelda game that you truly had fun with?
I don't know. Probably Majora's Mask.
You didn't have fun with Wind Waker?
Oh, yeah, Wind Waker, yeah. That was probably
I had fun with Twilight
Princess
Princess.
was alright. I like the graphics on it.
I find myself exploring Twilight Princess more than say
It's got a lot
Ocarina.
more to go around. Like Hyrule feels way better than that.
Just some of the things
But,
about Twilight Princess
Super
I don't like,
Nintendo.
but I still like
I
it.
don't. It's just the style of Super Nintendo to me.
So looking into the future, we already explained 3DS. So Wii U future, is there anything you wish to hope for? Like maybe announced at E3 or whatever.
But that's not already been announced.
Yes.
Metroid Prime.
Is that your main thing?
Mm-hmm.
More so than like a Zelda or Mario or anything?
You already said they're making a Zelda and a Mario. You just said not announced.
Not announced, but they're not officially announced. Like, what are you
Oh,
looking
we
for?
already know they're coming out. We're
Like,
guaranteed.
what are you looking for
What do you mean?
in those games? Like Metroid Prime,
I'm
Zelda, Mario. What are you looking for in them?
HD graphics. I want like Mario 3D Land. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm looking for in a Mario game. Combine Mario 3D Land. The levels were pretty like linear.
Yeah.
Make that and turn it into bigger levels, like huge levels. Like I'd love to see a massive.
But would you like it
level.
like go to the end flagpole, or would you like it mission based like 64?
I want it to
Sunshine
be
and
like
Galaxy?
64. I think I like that better in a 3D game. Finding stars, figuring out how to get them. Always like that. Basically an HD Mario 64, but add blocks and stuff from Mario Land, 3D Land. That's the ultimate Mario game to me.
What about Zelda?
Zelda, make it more like which they're talking about doing a free roaming Zelda. I
Zelda's
want like a
almost already free roaming
massive,
though, to an
but
extent.
sort of. I'd
The
like to
most
see
free
like
roaming in a Zelda game was Wind Waker.
something like Wind Waker, but on land, like a massive.
So like
overworld.
Twilight Princess, but
A massive overworld with
so more focused on overworld than dungeons, or focus on
Yeah,
both? Because dungeons are a big part of the Zelda series.
I know, but you can have. I mean, I don't know how much they can add to these games now with this
I mean, they
graphics.
tried to do that with Skyward Sword though. Make more
Yeah, but it
emphasis
was
on
little islands. I hated that.
yeah,
I
but I
hated
mean,
that
like when
about
you're on the
Skyward
ground,
Sword.
they had
There
like
wasn't
puzzles
enough
going
to
to the dungeon.
explore in that game. There was no
Yeah,
Hyrule Field.
yeah, I didn't like that. I don't
That
like
was my
I don't
problem
like
with
the
Skyward
sky.
Sword, but I love the motion stuff. Yeah, I hated the sky stuff. Sorry.
It was
But
a cool
I want
concept,
like
but it
Zelda 1 concept. HD and huge.
okay.
That's what I want.
And now you want another Donkey Kong Country game. Would you like them to add like another character, Dixie or something?
I don't need to do that. Maybe if you 4 characters to pick from, dude. Dixie and Kitty.
Create the 4-player Donkey Kong. Jeez.
I'd like to see a Nintendo Kart.
That'll never happen.
Smash Brothers, I don't want them to
Sega
change
did it,
anything.
but I would like them to expand the Subspace Emissary thing, adventure mode.
They need to make it more into like levels from the games.
Yes, and have
That's
actually
what they need
enemies
to do.
from.
Yeah, not these
things.
weird freaking things they have in that game.
They did though. They had some
A little
enemies,
bit, they had
like
Goombas and-
Ridley and
Yeah, but I want to see the whole game like that.
like I was expecting. Well, we did fight Bowser, but I was expecting to have some Bowser battles, some like King K. Rool, and throw in like Eggman or something in there. But you know,
Wow.
okay, looking forward to. I don't care about the system, but PS4. What do you expect for that?
Well, they already, I was hoping to play my PS3 games on there.
Did they say no for that?
Nope.
See, Sony's stupid.
I don't know because God of War. I don't know if they. I mean, the only Sony exclusive is God of
I
War.
will say this. From the rumors I'm hearing about the next Xbox system, PlayStation still seems to be better in terms of that because
Because it's always online thing.
that, yes, I hear that
Stupid.
always needs to be online.
I mean, I can't imagine graphics being better than now. To be honest, I mean, some of these games
Yeah.
are freaking amazing. I just play God of War 3, and it's like, how can you get better than this? Maybe you can make a game bigger, but the problem with that is it's going to take a lot longer to make a game. I think it's going to be like 10 years before a freaking good game comes out. It's like, oh my goodness.
Well, that would be a good game that'll
So
last
I
you
don't
like
know.
50 hours and be like, oh, I gotta wait 2
I
more
don't know what
years.
to think of the future of video games now. I feel like we've reached the peak, but
The peak of console, but handheld still, I think, has.
oh,
could go.
handheld could go up to PS3 graphics. Still.
I mean, apparently the PS Vita looks really good. It just doesn't have.
that seems to be coming along pretty quickly. The handhelds.
Yeah, I mean, it's it.
Um,
I still think Nintendo, despite it not rolling the console, it's rolling the handheld. I
It
think so.
always has. It always has. I'd like to see an Ocarina remake HD.
I don't.
And
That won't be
Majora's Mask and Mario
maybe somewhere
64.
down the line, but
Like those three games remain
I
HD,
think
and I
64
will
has a
die a
better
happy
chance
man.
than Ocarina since Ocarina was just released.
I know.
So
I know.
64 maybe not completely out of the picture.
Super Mario
Super Mario what?
64.
Yeah, I said Super Mario
Yeah.
64.
That's what I'd like to see because they had a level in Galaxy from
Yeah,
64, and the
Swamp's
level looked
Fortress.
awesome. So man, I want Mario 64 like
I
this.
thought they were gonna have more than that actually. Like I thought
Yeah, I
they were gonna
wish.
expand on that more.
But they're remaking Wind Waker completely,
Oh my gosh, that game
which
looks
is cool.
amazing.
I'm up. I kind of wish they would have done an older game.
You know what? I don't care. Wind Waker's my
Wind Waker
favorite
looks
Zelda, and it
fine.
looks.
To be honest, it looks fine on GameCube.
It does
But
look
okay, fine,
fine,
remake
but
it.
I'm okay with that.
Remake all your games,
Wind
please.
Waker
Then
looks amazing in HD, to say for what we've
uh,
seen.
we haven't really seen anything.
We've seen some screenshots. We've seen the screenshot of Zelda. We know they're tweaking gameplay a little bit, so
I don't know.
they did state that there's a Mario Kart in the works.
Of course, we know that,
Well, I
but
hope
I
it's
don't
something
care.
different. I do.
I mean, it might look nice. I probably will get it.
Honestly, I'm surprised they never made a Mario Golf for Wii.
I know. With the Wii motion control, they might for Wii U. They could still
I
do
hope they do it for Wii U because that would be cool.
it. And they didn't do a new tennis game. They just did the old one.
Yeah, they just did the new, which we
Amazing.
never mentioned new play control. Which for some reason they started doing that, which I thought was cool, and then they stopped. Like they
Well, there's
just
not
dead
many
stopped.
games to do.
There were some games they could have done. Like I would have liked Sunshine or
How?
Luigi's Mansion. You know,
You can't
use the
do
Wii
that.
remote to aim where you're shooting.
Well, it might be confusing when he's turning around.
True, but Luigi's Mansion might have worked.
You got to rehash it though. First person
They could have done that.
vacuuming.
First, I mean, like there was a little part of me that wished for a Wind Waker new play control, kind of like
Why?
play like Twilight Princess, where you just swing.
There's no need.
But there is no, but
Well, how are they doing it for? I guess they're not going to.
it's probably going to be buttons.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the screen on the Wii remote will probably be like a map and your items, maybe like Ocarina 3D did, which I think will be cool
Yeah, I do like that.
because it frees up your actual gameplay screen as well.
Yeah.
Because I know Wind Waker had a ton on the screen because you had the compass, you had the
Dude.
map, and
It did.
yeah. So I think that's it. I think we're done. If you have anything else you want to say.
I never played the Virtual Boy. The red. That's the only Nintendo system I never played.
So yeah, I don't know. Nintendo was the first one to release their next generation console. PlayStation is next.
Yeah, but it's still behind PS4.
You know what? I don't care. As long as the
It
games are
doesn't
fun, I'm okay
matter.
with
As long as
it.
they get to that HD point,
They
I'm
did.
happy.
They did.
It took
You know
two.
what?
We should have been.
Graphics, I like graphics, but I think the gameplay is more important for video games because you play video games to play games, for gameplay. So as long as the game's fun, I'm fine. I really don't care what it looks like unless it's like insanely blurry and frame rate horrible. But
Thanks a lot of 64.
well, back then it was okay because I was back then, and that's
back
all you
then we thought it
had.
was the greatest thing ever. We did. It's amazing.
Man, imagine back then if you were thinking Mario 64. Back then, if you looked at Mario Galaxy
No, blew our minds.
or that Zelda U demo, that looks awesome. Although it's like Twilight Princess Link fighting that arachnid thing.
Hey, I'm fine with that. Let's do that then.
I'd laugh if they went with
I know when
Wind Waker
it'd be like original.
style.
It'd be that all over again. Me getting pissed off again about that.
Now, I do kind of like Skyward Swords mixed between Twilight Princess
Yeah,
and Wind Waker.
that's not too bad.
I mean, say what you want, but Skyward Sword slightly doesn't look the best. Character models
Yeah,
look
it does.
fine. Character models look fine,
Well,
but the
okay, there's a lot of
environment.
weird blurriness in that game,
I
isn't there?
think I think went for more of like
Skyward
a
Sword has weird
artistic,
blurry crap in the
and it
background.
also went for artistic look. I guess you could say like paintish look.
Yeah.
But I agree. There's even
Yeah,
if you
it looks
look at
funky
even if
to
you
me.
look at was it Skyloft, there's a lot of blurriness
Yeah,
to
I
it,
never understood that.
but it still looks okay. I mean, I think Twilight Princess maybe looks a little better, but even like
Like
Wind Waker,
with
I
the
like
landscape and stuff.
yeah,
Maybe
I
Wind
like
Waker.
Wind Waker's style too better than Skyward Sword. But all right, I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right, well, I thank you all for watching this an hour and 40-minute thing.
Gee.
So
A
yeah,
lot to cover.
a lot to cover. Next time, I don't know what we're gonna do for one of our random rabbles next time. Favorite video game characters? I don't know, but
Oh, yeah, we could do that.
we could do that. So yes, maybe favorite video game, maybe favorite video game characters next time. Thank you all for watching. This has been Silver, and
Me.
he's gonna keep doing that, guys.
Me,
So
me, me.
until next time,
Me.
everybody. Sayonara.
Oh.
Saying bye. That was creepy.